Hi, my name's George Holliday and I'm a music producer and I've been working out of this van for 4 years now. Cannot believe it. Last couple of weeks we've been travelling on the Isle of Wight and sadly I'm now back. It does break my heart, I miss it a lot. But one thing I really noticed on this trip is how many things I rely on day to day in van life. So I wanted to share those things with you in this video, if you care. Hopefully you do, because otherwise this is going to be awkward. Hey guys, welcome to this week's video. A little bit different to the last 3 videos we've had where we've been travelling around Isle of Wight, the Isle of Wight. Now from this trip, I realised there was quite a few things that I simply just can't live without on this van. And quite a few questions that I get over on Reddit and Instagram in particular are about the same things pretty much each time. The answer to some of those questions, such as, how does everything not fall off when you're driving? I'm going to answer today and spill all of my darkest secrets because it is, unfortunately, as much as I'd like it to be, not magic. I also want to add into this video that we have painted this whole entire place. Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be mixing it up a little bit. This whole place needs painting because I'm going to be renting it out to maybe you. Anybody you might know that might want to come and enjoy summer in here, because I've got a lot of other plans that I'm very excited to share with you. So we're going to be painting all weekend. Right now it's Friday evening. I've just finished my last bit of music production work for the week, and this whole place needs turning upside down because we're going to paint all the walls, quite literally every single one of the walls, and I think it's a bigger job than I'm anticipating. No, I anticipate that it's going to be a bigger job than I think. The actual painting doesn't start until tomorrow though, so today I have about an hour to pack everything away and start taping all of these edges up. So yeah, fun evening planned. Finding it so weird how big this space looks when it's just white and there's no personal things in the space. I actually remember when I was building this place, how many people were commenting on places like Reddit. I mean, Reddit's a savage place anyway, but how many people were commenting saying, oh, it's so clinical in there and it doesn't look homely at all. But I mean, you guys know this place quite well now. Look how much just even those pictures make a difference. All right, number 1 on my list. I have given myself a task where I've actually got to go outside. So we're gonna switch over to this camera. There you guys are, and we're gonna go get the hose. I realised that sounded like doesn't matter. Gonna go get the hose pipe. You like my little bamboo mat? It's a bit muddy. All right, I might regret bringing this inside, but we're gonna do it anyway. Oh, this is my hose pipe, and it was neatly wrapped up, but it's now not because I just carried it in. As you can see, it's not very big, and actually when this is properly wrapped up, this really only takes up the tiniest amount of space. Tiny. But guess how long this hose is? 60 meters. That's just over an Olympic-sized swimming pool. I'll put this down over there. So why can I not live without that hose pipe? Well, in short, wherever you are in a van, you will want to be topping up with water, and it's actually more rare than you think to pull up next to a water tap. If you're already a van lifer, comment down below, give me support on how hard sometimes it is to find water. Now, 60-meter hose pipe, which by the way, only cost me £18, I think it was. Might have been less, but it was about £18, which is less than $25. And when you turn the tap on, it kind of extends. It's weird, it goes from all scrunched up into like a smooth hose pipe. And when you've got 60 meters, like that's just, go outside, take 60 steps, decent sized steps. It's crazy, it's a long way. So this hose pipe is perfect. All of these products, by the way, are in my description. And if you actually buy it through that link, I get a little kickback. So if you want to support this channel, that would be amazing. Thought I'd just share with you some very exciting news. Let me show you on my phone. How's 28 for moving? Yeah, booked. Yes! We now have a date to move the American school bus. And if you're new here, we've been working on it for 1 year and 2 months. And it's finally finished. We've landed a TV show on Discovery Plus. which will probably be out by the time you guys watch this. So I should probably show an advert for that TV show.
I've had an idea. Today, you become a swimming pool. 2 double-decker buses. If he says caravan in the sky, then we're going up.
When it comes to vehicle conversions,
The most ridiculous thing I've ever heard.
these guys prove that bonkers
Oh my God!
is beautiful.
Oh, yes.
Brand new Full Metal Junkies starts 22nd of March on Quest or stream on Discovery Plus.
Very excited. Let me know if you did spot me near the end there. The whole first episode is about building an American school bus and how we did it from start to finish. You get to see us literally cutting the roof off, raising it up. It's all very, very fun. This bus and that bus feature in that episode, and it's now going to be moved 2 weeks on Monday. Product number 2. Okay, so this one is probably the most asked question online in the history of all of my online. That didn't really make sense. I have a lot of things out in this bus, as you can see. But the question I always get is, how does everything not fall off? Like, surely everything goes everywhere. Well, Sherlock, it's all stuck down. Everything in here is secured, even these plants up here. You can't really see, but in the bedroom, all of this stuff is stuck down. And I actually just use, it's quite simple, 3M sticky pads. Now, I can't even remember how it came to it, but I'd never heard of these before. In fact, I think I was searching for some double-sided sticky tape or something to like glue things down. And then these came up, and they're literally pads, sticky on both sides, and they are strong. I have even my chopping board stuck down with these things. I just have 2 little ones underneath, and basically all you wanted to do is remove you want to add friction to stop things from moving. So my intention was to remove the friction and stop things from moving around, but actually these just secure things down super well. You can pull them up, they don't leave any mark. So that is how things don't move around. And you'd be surprised. You look around in your van, there'll be little plants you want to stick down. Chopping board, you don't need to get out each time. You can just have it on the side permanently. The only one that I don't have stuck down is this one. And that is simply because this table folds away. So there you go. Oh, and of course the keyboard isn't stuck down because I only have that out 50% of the time. So my next job is indeed taping everything up. Anyone that's watching what I'm doing and thinking, no, use the frog tape. I only have 41 meters of this, so I'm going to use it on things that I really don't want to get paint on, like the oak. Things like those handles, I can kind of scrape it off a little bit afterwards. I'm not too worried about that, so I'd rather save the expensive stuff. £10 a roll, what, £9.50. So I'd rather use the old masking tape. I know it's not as reliable, but it will do for the bits that don't matter too much. I'd also really like to just take a moment just to say thank you for all the flipping lovely messages on our little mini Isle of Wight series. It's making me very excited for this summer's plans and what's going to be happening. Taking the business name Made on the Road to a whole new level, trying something new. Still on the road, of course. See, what I've realised about myself over the years, looking at myself in the mirror, so to speak, I'm definitely a person that when I feel like I'm in the groove with something, I then get not bored of it, but I want to move on to what the next thing is. Music production in a bus has obviously been amazing, but I've got into like a rhythm of things at the minute, and I'm feeling like I'm really missing shaking things up. So we're going to try something new, and that's why I'm forcing myself to rent this out, because if I didn't commit, I'd just never do it. You know that feeling. I just never would do it. So the reason I'm going to all this effort of painting everything again is because then it commits me to the mission, which is actually getting this thing up for rent and forcing myself into a new scenario. Hey, we're back for some more, well, to start painting. I find that the hardest thing about painting anything is being patient enough to tape everything up, because you only regret it in the end. And there were definitely bits on the door that we didn't tape last week that did need picking off, and it's not fun. This next one was actually recommended through a friend of mine, Simon, who is about 3 vans that way right now whilst I film this video. And he recommended a window hoover. What's a window hoover, you might add? I don't even know if that's a technical term, but a window hoover is what I'm calling it. This is a window hoover. I think they're actually technically window cleaners, and you can have water in them. Give a little spray. I'm going to regret that in a moment. But also the coolest feature is it has a Hoover on it. So when you are getting rid of any condensation on the windows, not only does this make it super clean, but it also sucks up all the water, and then you simply take this out and empty it. In fact, there's water in there already, and it's amazing, but also a bit grim, how dirty the water is, and just shows you how dirty your windows get. I did it this morning. My windows look, honestly, like I've had a window cleaner come over and do them. They are sparkling. Now, there are brands online. I can't remember the name of the big brand that most people talk about, but this one was £20, I believe. It might be a little bit more, but I'll leave a link in the description. This one I've heard is actually better than the big brand that is more expensive. So don't be spending more than £20, £25, or definitely not more than $30 on something like this. They are great and a lifesaver. Now, one thing I want to add to that point is how to actually reduce condensation in the first place. Now, I did just say that this morning I cleaned my windows, but that was because I went to bed and the temperature wasn't that cold. It certainly wasn't enough to be condensation everywhere. And overnight, it dropped all the way down to 3 degrees out of nowhere. The last few nights, it hasn't been like that. So the temperature dropped, I woke up, everything, including the skylights up here, were full of water. I normally try and avoid this by simply having my heater on, even on those nights that feel like you could be fine and be cozy and wrap up warm. But I have my heater on, or I'll be opening my window, even if it's cold, I'll open my skylights when I'm cooking so that any steam that's created when I'm cooking doesn't condense up my windows. And in a van, this is really important, and it can actually do quite a bit of damage to your van. So this is a really simple thing to do to actually just prevent any damage and any mold growing in a van. It's the worst fear. Sometimes just spending that little bit extra on putting your heating on, or being a little bit more cautious whilst you're cooking, it really does make a difference. So if you are struggling with it, those are my top tips, and definitely the window cleaner. Hey, how are you getting on the back?
Good. I think I'm nearly done.
Banger. Bedroom nearly done. I'm getting on good with the front here. Okay, this might just be me, so please do leave a comment down below. And Mia's gonna probably highly disagree with me, but I find painting very therapeutic. I feel very calm and neutralized today. Mia, what are you saying?
I don't mind it, but I don't like little, what do you call it, little bits. I want to paint a wall, I don't want to do all these little bits.
We'll do a swap tomorrow then.
Yeah.
Although, actually saying that, there's just as many little bits at the front here. So, yeah, there's conclusion. I will also say, if you are embarking on a project, tape up as much as you possibly can. The amount of things I have taped up in this bus is almost obsessively ridiculous, but when I'm actually painting, it makes it so much easier. People always tell you, if you don't do it, you always regret it.
I also don't know if you can see it on camera, but this is where we're at with this white wall. Lovely white, camera can't even focus on it. Lovely white wall. And this is where my coats hang up. So you can kind of see the difference.
And I know some of you will be questioning, why have you lived with your walls like that for so long? But normally the coats are in front of that, so it's never normally an issue. But when you paint it, I can't believe that, I was just saying to Mia, I can't believe the difference in unpainted walls to now the white walls. It's so much brighter. I don't think this is a brighter paint, I just think after 4 years it's faded quite a lot. Also, we have the 90s throwback playlist on, always a banger. The fourth thing, now I mentioned this earlier, but I definitely underestimated fairy lights that are battery operated. Now I have them above all of my blinds in my bedroom, on this side door, and all the way around the front, and it really does look lovely at night. You may have noticed it in this video when we parked up at the seafront last week at the Isle of Wight. And the reason I underestimated them is because batteries are really cheap. They last for a good amount of time, and you're not using any of your battery power from the van, which is always an ongoing thing, particularly in winter on those darker nights. During summer, you generally use less lighting, so it's fine. But In winter, fairy lights are a winner. Now, if you have skylights, you can actually get fairy lights that have a little solar panel on them, which you could stick up in there, and that saves you power again. But they're surprisingly bright. In an evening, you can happily cook and wash up and sit and chill and maybe do some work with the fairy lights on. So it's enough lighting, but without taking up your battery power. And honestly, most of my evenings I just use that. I thought I'd be using all of these lighting and underneath here, and sometimes when I'm cooking and I just want that extra bit of light, I do use the kitchen ones over there. But that aside, if you are wanting to save power, simple, get some fairy lights. Good morning, it is the next day and we are flying through painting for today. It looks so much better, and I was just saying when I arrived earlier this morning to Mia, it's a shame that we can't show you exactly the difference, but you literally can't tell the difference unless I do a side by side. Even this wall where all the coats were swinging and scratching, it's just like clear now. So you're gonna have to take my word for it, or you're gonna have to come and visit and come and stay and be like, George, this looks really fresh. It's like you've painted the place. We are flying through them. I've already done the front bit. I just wanted to crack on this morning, so sorry for leaving you guys out of that bit. Mia, how are you getting on?
Good. Nearly finished.
Nearly finished, are we?
Well, kind of.
What's going on down here then?
Well, I'm not getting paid for this, you know, so.
Here you are.
Actually, you did buy my lunch, but.
Thank you. 2 days in a row. Anyway, we are really close to finishing, and actually, what time is it now?
11:25.
11:25.
It's not even midday, and we got basically finished.
I've already done a coat on everything on this whole front. You can still see where it's a bit wet up there.
Do you think people are going to like it, Mia?
Yeah.
Do you reckon people are going to come and stay?
Fabulous painting, mate.
Yeah, people will just come and be like, I just want to see those paint strokes that Mia's got going on. Can highly recommend these, or something similar to these, when you're doing anything like painting. They get rid of everything and anything. What are we saying?
I think we're done.
Yeah! Now we've just got to reconstruct everything.
It looks so much better in here, so we now have the fun bit of taking off the tape. And don't worry, we're not going to start taking off the tape when the paint is wet. Most areas are now dry. We've only touched up the third layer with some little bits and bobs. So we can, in fact you can see some of them's already started falling off themselves. So we're going to try reconstruct this place as best possible now.
Oh yeah. Get it. Go on. Oh, it's good. Oh yeah. Oh!
Alright, this next one was something I held off for far too long. And it is my Dyson Hoover. Now, you don't need to get a Dyson. There was an offer on when I got this that I just basically couldn't refuse, spending the extra £50 for something like this rather than one of those cheap kind of copies that you get online. Now, I know there are some other good brands out there. I think there's one called Shark or something like that that is also a really good one. But for me personally, this was the one that was on offer. They also do a 1.5 kilogram size, which Dysons can be quite big even for the handheld, but you can see this is tiny, and this does about 2 van cleans on one charge. It also comes with some great attachments. You get this for all the nooks and crannies, and you get, where is it? One of these little brush ones, which is great for getting rid of those cobwebs, because we all know little money spiders love vans. You might think it's a bit of an overkill to have something like this, but I used to have a dustpan and brush for like 2.5 years, and honestly, when a plant spills over or you break a glass accidentally, it was a nightmare just brushing all those little bits out of the carpet or out of the corners or underneath the fridge. It was horrible. Break something now, honestly, I get this out less than a minute later, it's all gone, it's all cleaned up, all the soil is zapped away, and it's arguably enjoyable to fix the problem with one of these, whereas dustpan and brush is just horrible. I would recommend one of these. Also, it has this cool emptying feature, I'm gonna try not to get stuff everywhere, where you lift this up. Oh, that is 100% not what I wanted to happen. But you can see, it empties everything, so you can empty it into a bin really quickly. This, George, what did you do this for? I guess this is a great moment for me to show how quick and easy it is to fix something like this when it does indeed happen. I need to get up for this. I'm not going to show you how to use a Hoover, but look, problem's gone. If I had to use a dustpan and brush, this would be a horrible job. Dyson Hoover, just proven very useful. All right, so those are my first 5 essentials that I think everybody should have in a van. I actually have a list of potentially 2 more videos worth of this stuff, so if you do really like it, leave a comment down below. And if you also have some essentials, leave them down below. Maybe I can include them in a later video. And just before we finish, let's see how we got on with the painting, shall we? Alright guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Please stay safe, look after each other, and remember, never stop creating. Oh, very quickly, before I forget, the American School Bus is now ready to take bookings. I will leave a comment and pin it at the top down below. If you would like to check out the American School Bus and maybe make a booking, if you'd like to visit the south of England, we have loads of vineyards around here. We've got the infamous South Downs National Park, which is stunning, and we're actually situated on fishing lakes, and we have a private field up at the top looking down onto the lakes, and trust me, it's so beautiful at night for sunset. So if you want to take a browse, wildawaybus.com, go check it out and make a booking. And if you don't want to book the American School Bus, this one's actually going to be for rent this summer, so keep an eye out in the next couple of weeks, and maybe by the time this or the next video comes out, you'll also be able to book this one. Go check us out on social media and you won't miss the announcement. All right, bye.